How to use PVS Graphical LVS Debugger. Graphical LVS Debugger is a powerful tool in PVS to debug PVS LVS violations. Graphical LVS Debugger, or known as GLD, simplifies the layout window by representing it with extracted schematic. GLD shows wires instead of multiple layer connections through contacts and vias. It uses single instances instead of multiple device recognition shapes, some of which are in parallel. The feature list of GLD are listed below. GLD generates and displays a composite of the schematic, layout, and errors by consolidating all three windows into one. It uses one form of navigation for the entire process. GLD simplifies the report file by reducing the duplicate errors. Errors are drawn using distinct colors to indicate layout only, schematic only, and part of both. GLD employs advanced probing. It automatically probes layout, schematic, and provides a display feature for showing all nets for a device and all devices for a net. Let's look at a practical LVS issue and see how GLD helps sort it out. Here we have a sample layout open, which goes by the name ECAD. Let's start the process by running the LVS. Go to PVS drop-down and run LVS. That brings out the LVS run submission form. We have a preset file ready. Let's load it. So we have the run data. We have a custom rule file here, and the remaining input and output sections are just default values. Let's start the LVS run by clicking on submit. The run is in progress. There are some comparison mismatch violations. Let's open the LVS debug environment. So here in the comparison tab, there are a few shorts and opens. Let me expand that. The shorts and opens are spread over two cells, one on the top level ECAD level and one inside the JKFF cell. Let's concentrate on this particular violation, which is a short between the schematic pin S and schematic pin R. Let's try to locate the violation in the layout, and the shorted layout pin is named as 4. So how to invoke Graphical LVS Debugger? Down here in the tools drop down, it lists out all the available PVS tools that help you sort out PVS LVS issues. The list includes probing form, Graphical LVS Debugger, interactive short locator, and hierarchy browser. Here in this video, we will concentrate on Graphical LVS Debugger. Click on it. So that brings up the Graphical LVS Debugger interface up. By default, you could see a lock window. You can click F to fit the window. Here up in the GLD toolbar, these two buttons can be used to toggle the previous view and the next view on the screen. If you want to go one cell level up, you could use this button. In case you want to clear the probes, here is a button. For zoom in and zoom out, you have the buttons out here. And to fit the window, you could use this particular button. In case you want to find certain net, tag, or instance, you could use these options out here, and you could type in the name of the item out here and press enter. You have also options to find only in schematic or layout and on both sides. This camera icon will help you take the snapshots. Let me close the log window down here to have a better view. The cell name are listed here on the top side, and it reads composite, which says that the view that you see is a composite view of the layout and the schematic together. And here on the bottom left corner, you have the color scheme for the GLD window defined. Matched nets and the instances go with the green color here. Mismatched schematic nets and the instances go with the purple color. And the mismatched layout and the instances go with the red color. And the common nets between the schematic and the layout goes with the blue color. These are the default colors. And in case the user wants to change the default color settings, you can go to settings drop down, go to color settings, and change the colors as you like it. The pin shapes are also defined here for the output, input, bidirectional, and the pins with the unknown direction. Then there is something called a world view, which you can invoke with the grow world view option. Click on it once and the world view comes up here. You can grow the size of the world view using the soft key V, and it actually shows you where exactly on the design you are zoomed in. Let's fit the window. So let's start the debugging process. Here in the report, it mentioned that the short is between the schematic pins S and R. So let's try to locate the pins out here. Find the net, R to start with. So here is the R pin. You can actually slide the window up. Here is the first device that the pin R touches. So let's click on that and let's try to probe it. Once you click on any entity, be it net or device in the GLD window, that particular entity is selected. For probing, click on the probe drop down and click on probe selected objects out here. And this would do a couple of things. It will highlight the pin in the layout, and it also opens the schematic in case the schematic is not open, and highlights the device in the schematic as well. Here is the MN26 device. So right now you could see that we have gone into the JKFF level and not at the top level. Back in the GLD window, let's try to probe the next pin that goes with the name S and enter. So here is a pin S, and once you move inside, here is the first device that the pin S connects to. Let's probe this device as well, which goes with the name MN14. Probe drop down and click on probe selected objects. As expected, the device is highlighted in the schematic and in the layout as well. You could see down here. So right now the visibility of only the poly layer is turned on. So once I put on the diffusion layer, these are the devices where S connects to. Here is a device that the pin R connects to. Back in the GLD window, let's try to highlight the signal net S. Here S signal is selected, and let's probe that as well. Back in the layout window, let me put off the diffusion visibility. So this particular track is actually covering the entire S signal, and somewhere down this line is a short. The highlighted devices are here. Let me highlight them again. And similarly for the other device as well, so that the device highlights comes above the signal highlight. Here is the entire S signal net going, and two devices to which the pin are connected are over here. Now it's clear that the short is happening somewhere on this track, and we can fairly assume that the short is happening on the right side of these devices. Now you need to manually track it down. Now we have successfully reduced the possible area where the short could happen. And once you track it down, you could see that there is something fishy out here. Let's try to disconnect here and see if the short is cleared. Let me make the layout editable. Down here in the edit drop down, let me select stretch option and bring it back to this location so that I created an obvious gap on the track. Let me rerun the LVS and see if the short still exists. Before running the LVS, let me come back to the top level and start the LVS run. PVS drop down, click on run LVS. Start the run. We are not expecting all the LVS violations to be cleared. We are just checking for that particular violation in the JKFF cell where pin S and pin R were shorting. Let's see if that is cleared. Open the LVS debug environment. Under the comparison, you could see that there are no more shorts reported at JKFF level, and the mismatch reported nets are at the ECAD level and not at the JKFF level on which we have worked. So this is how Graphical LVS Debugger helps locate the PVS LVS violations in the design. Let me also show you some of the other features in the Graphical LVS Debugger. Down here under the windows, you have an error browser which can be used to track various errors. You could locate the errors by either clicking on the error number down here, or you could choose any of the error categories over here like net schematic, net layout, instance schematic, instance layout, etc. And the log window will show you the log of actions performed. Then there are a few shortcuts available. The entire list can be accessed. Here the settings drop down, go to shortcuts, and this would list out all the shortcut settings available in the current GLD window. So this is the end of the video on Graphical LVS Debugger. Thank you.